Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, as promised, I wanted to bring my first video, how to study organic chemistry. Now, I want to make this video because I know that for me going in, organic chemistry had this reputation as kind of like a really intense class, like a weed out class. It was just, you hear horror stories about orgo, as it's commonly referred. I wanted to kind of dispel some of those rumors, explain to you how I studied for it, how I managed to do really well in it, and how it actually was kind of fun. And I kind of used the information on biochem, on the MCAT, and how it really is a cool subject. So I want to start off by giving the three methods that I used to study for both organic chemistry 1 and 2. Um, it's kind of a very simple, tried and true method, but in case you didn't know, I I want to show you guys. So yeah, let's start off. So the first big resource that you'll need is a book called Organic Chemistry as a Second Language. So this is what it looks like, and you can get it on Amazon, pretty cheap. I know that this book was actually recommended in my syllabus by my professor as an optional resource along with the textbook. We used this textbook, so that was the textbook we used. We used it for both first and second semester, and there's actually one of these for both semesters. So if you see, this one is second semester topics and first semester topics. Now this book is amazing because what it allows you to do is basically it supplements whatever you're learning in class, whatever mechanisms you're learning, and it kind of reads like a book. It kind of explains to you in like paragraph form how everything is going on, and then at the end of each chapter they'll give you a bunch of like practice, right? Bunch of practice problems to do. So you can kind of understand the theory in like simple terms if you're not a chemist or if you're not a chemistry major, but you still want to understand what's going on. You still want to do practice problems. Um, that's, to me, it's really helpful, right? The second thing you're going to need after organic chemistry second language and your textbook, obviously, is what in my class we call the reaction notebook. So a reaction notebook. So I took the paper out and stapled it, but this was paper that was in a notebook, right? And if you can see, this is basically just like mechanisms. There's no problems in here. It's just mechanisms. So for example, I'll have like a mechanism for ozonolysis. I'll highlight it, and then I'll have the mechanism. And then what I'll do is I'll just take this mechanism and I'll just rewrite it over and over again on note cards or on a whiteboard. Sometimes I'll just go to like a whiteboard in my school, and like I'll find an empty classroom at my university, go with my paper, and just write the mechanism over and over again. Because in my class, we were tested on the mechanisms, not just problems. But so yeah, making these and I mean, I have every single reaction that we learned, and I have one of these little notebooks, and then at the end of the semester, I just ripped the pages out and made it into like a packet. So you could almost call it like a reaction packet. But yeah, I mean, organic chemistry second language also has tons of problems that you can do. Um, Apart from showing you kind of the theory behind what's going on, there's actually some really helpful problems and stuff that you can do. So I'd really recommend doing those. And the third thing, yeah, so I kind of touched on it earlier, was having a whiteboard. A whiteboard, I would say, is essential for any class where problem solving is involved, whether that's physics, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, where you kind of want to be writing out problems over and over again, and that's where having a whiteboard comes in really handy. But yeah, guys, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you. How I managed to do well in organic chemistry was by using organic chemistry as a second language, making reaction packets from our lecture notes and from our textbook with the mechanisms so that I can have an intuitive grasp of how the mechanisms work, and practicing and hammering out those problems every day on a whiteboard. And if you practice a little bit every day and you stay on top of your lecture notes and you do your homework if your class has homework, you'll really do well in this class. You know, it really doesn't have to be weed out class. And then by the time the MCAT came around, I felt really, really prepared so that I could focus on other subjects on the MCAT. And by the time biochemistry came around, you know, it was the same deal. Like biochemistry, there's the enzymes in our body, use mechanisms. It's nucleophiles and electrophiles. If you don't know what those are, you will, but that's pretty much how it works. So that's really what I would recommend to you guys, is can you get an intuitive grasp of organic chemistry studying this way? Yeah, I really think you can. And I mean, I hope this helps you guys out, really, because it doesn't have to be a weed out class. It doesn't have to be this big intimidating class that everybody makes it out to be. It can actually be a cool, fun, and easy class. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this.